Hey guys, it's me, MissDarizard, and this is the Week 6 recap of the MissDarizard Draft League. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first match we're going to talk about here is Frozen Wrath. That's the Hoen's Mad versus Brad the Bad. That's Miami Manectrics. Frozen coming right out with his special Toxicroak, which probably caught Brad off guard, which is why Brad went for a burn there to try and reduce the physical damage. Doesn't matter when you're running a special set, though. Togetic does have fire type coverage, probably like specifically for this Toxicroak. But it doesn't matter. Toxicroak has enough bulk to live a couple of those from Togetic and take out the Rotom, which is a big win for Frozen early. But then Espeon takes out Toxicroak, who had pretty much, like no health left. Dusclops coming in, able to finish off Espeon with a Nightshade. And then we see a really good predict by Frozen, switching into Goodra with Sap Sipper, predicting the Leech Seed, getting a nice boost. But then Brad runs Choice Band Mimikyu. It gets huge fucking damage off on that Goodra, completely catching Frozen off guard. I gotta be honest, I think that's probably the first time I've seen a Choice Band Mimikyu used in this draft league, at least. I think that's the first time we've seen Brad use it that way this season. So super surprising set on that thing. Frozen clearly wasn't prepared for it, but the match is not over. The match is still very much looking to be like it's going to be a close one. We saw Arcanine take off Dusclops there, and what we're going to see here for the next few turns is just constant switching. They both have 3 Pokemon that match up well against another one of the other person's Pokemon defensively, and what they're going to do is just keep switching around until they just constantly do a little bit of damage, which is why we're going to see Brad get those Toxics off with that Arcanine to try and get some chip damage over time with that Toxic. So, smart play on his part. When you match up with Brad, you got to expect him to bring that Toxic. That seems to be his MO this season. Then here, we're going to see more switching in. I mean, there's nothing even an air raid there. They're both just defensively switching in. Brad does get Rocks out to try and get more chip damage off and try to discourage the switching as much. And that's actually what we're going to see happen here. Once Primarina gets under 50%, you're going to see Frozen just commit to leaving Primarina in there. Manages to get some pretty good damage off on Ferrothorn before she dies here. And it's going to be just enough to put this Ferrothorn within kill range for the Serena on the following turn. So Serena's going to go ahead, take out the Ferrothorn with Rapid Spin, clearing the hazards, and getting a little speed boost. Not that it's really going to make a huge difference as we've seen in the past, even with that speed boost. This thing isn't that fast, but it still manages to outspeed Arcanine, get some decent damage off despite the Intimidate. And then Frozen's able to get some Serene Grace hacks off on this Arcanine. But then right here, you're going to see 49% damage on the first turn with the Mimikyu, and then 51% on the second turn. So got a high roll, but, a win's a win, and Brad will definitely take a win over a division rival. That's a big, big win for Brad, because Hoen's Mad has been, one of his biggest interdivisional rivals this season. So the next match we're going to see is myself, Olivine City Voltes, MissDarizard, against Kerfungal, the Sandoval Salazzles. Early, we're going to see my Vanillux pick up a Freeze Dry kill on the Quillfish. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a defensive switch into Bishop to eat the Icicle Crash, and then outspeed with Priority Sucker Punch to kill the Weevil. And then I brought Fighting type coverage specifically for that Lanoon. So thankfully I was able to have Chuck out there when the Lanoon belly drummed, so I was able to take that thing out before it became a problem. Go ahead and switch into, well, we both take a couple turns to switch, but I ran Damage Calc here, knew that my Vanillux could survive a +2 attack from Rotom, and then kill with a Hail boosted Blizzard. So left it in there, and then killed with 4 times effective Freeze Dry against Pelipper, and then made the obvious switch into my Hippo to eventually, take a couple Shadow Balls and Oko this Jolteon, picking up my best one of the season so far, in the first 6-0 win in the season this season. The next match is British Gent, that's the Belper Bewares, against Sergeant Mech, that's the new Bark Normalizers. This match is crazy, and I feel like I say this every week about one of Sergeant Mech's matches, because every single week it seems like his match is decided on the last turn, and this one is no different. Early on, we're going to basically see them exchange kills, Bronzong and Obstagoon both out early. We're going to see a Perish Trap Lapras. Luckily for Sergeant Mech, he misses the Whirlpool, so he switches into Togekiss and tries to get an Ancient Power boost off, but not able to get it, so starts going for Flinch Hacks. Able to get a couple off on the Sylveon. Actually, I think he gets 3 off, 2 and then the Protect, and then a 3rd right here. And then British Gent, smartly using Protect to try and restore as much health as possible in between turns. Sergeant Mech missing, actually, there, making a big difference, so Sergeant Mech goes ahead. I think he was trying to raid a Protect there on the Wish Protect, so he went into Silvally, which, you know, was a good time to switch. Even with taking the attack, it eats that Moonblast pretty well. But this Quagsire was just too thick. Easy switch in for the multi-attack, because that's about the only thing on his team that wanted to eat that multi-attack, to be honest. So here we have this right here ends up being a few turn series of Quagsire boosting its defense and recovering, and Sergeant Mech using Togekiss to just get Flinch Hacks and hope that he's able to finish it off that way. And what we're going to see is constant buffing and healing on British Gent's part, and then this right here, this Toxic, is going to be a huge difference maker in the long run. Despite losing Quagsire here to a critical hit on this Air Slash right here, still managing the Toxic to Togekiss, which is that's a big deal. Able to get that thing within kill range for the Venusaur, so it could take it out pretty quickly. And then this Venusaur just completely walls the Silvally, able to get some chip damage off, restore some of its health, block it from U-turning, and then Sergeant Mech goes into his Braviary. First time we've actually seen Braviary this season. He's running Air Slash Sheer Force, which is actually kind of cool. Kind of a unique set. You don't really see that very much. Most people go physical Braviary, but I like the thinking out of the box that he went with there. Try to get that sheer force boost on Air Slash. And then we see, surprise, surprise, he actually did have psychic coverage just for Venusaur. I wasn't clicking that earlier. Then smartly switches into Diggersby, who, let's be honest, nothing on British Gent's team wants to eat a stab, choice band boosted huge power Earthquake. But he manages the Toxic Diggersby before he dies, and I think that's starting to be a trend that we're seeing in this league. Everyone's been relying pretty heavily on Toxic stalling, and I think that's just pretty much the meta for Gen 8 in general. Just Toxic stalling seems to be a very popular method of victory for people right now. And it's just going to be up to people to figure out a way to get past that. And I mean, there are plenty of ways to counter Toxic stall teams, and it's just, people just got to be more prepared for that moving forward. So we do see Glade take out a couple Pokemon there, but then huge power stab, quick attack with Choice Band from Diggersby, just doing huge damage, taking out Glade from 100%. A little bit of a misplay here from Sergeant Mech. Probably should have went into the Ditto here to go ahead and Perish Song stall the Lapras. Would have gave him the victory. But instead what we're going to see is, since the Ditto actually is scarfed, the Perish Song is actually going to trigger on Sergeant Mech first. So we're actually going to see dual Perish Song expiration on the final turn of the game, where the loser is the person who is faster. So kind of a crazy ending. Unfortunate that that's the way it had to end, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it is. British Gent picking up his win. He's currently 5-1, the best team in the league statistically. So the next match is Okan Algas, which are the Atlanta Alchemies, versus Tentacle Threat, which is, this is for Rachel. Gyarados picking up a big kill against that Hatterene to start the match. And this is another crazy match, actually, that's going to come down to the last few turns. We do see Fire-type coverage for that 4 times effective kill against the Escavalier from the Caparaja. And then we're going to see Halucha killing with that stab close combat. And then White Herb, so that was a pretty solid bring. And then it gets that Unburdened speed boost But then loses that because of Wandering Spirit. Super, super annoying. I mean, when you come up against Rachel, you got to keep in mind you're going to have to deal with Wandering Spirit, and you're going to have to deal with Mummy. The Coffin Twins are really annoying to deal with, especially when they're both out there at once. Well, on the same set. So here, though, what we're actually going to see is Okan out-ghosting the Ghost Trainer, which is super impressive. Gets a Will-O-Wisp off on this Runerigus and able to just slowly chip away at it and bring it down with Dusk Noir. I miss Dusk Noir. I'm so happy to see Okan give it a home and actually pick up a kill with it and, you know, make good use of it. And then that Destiny Bond could have easily went the other way and taken out that Cofagrigus. Would have been such a clutch way to take out that Cofagrigus, but Dusk Noir, unfortunately, just a little too thick. Doesn't work out. But then we're going to see this Roserade come in, put the Cofagrigus to sleep, and then just wear it down with a couple Shadow Balls. Honestly, I completely slipped my mind that Roserade even got Shadow Ball, so seeing this was kind of surprising to me, but it obviously was a good bring. You know, when you're coming up against Rachel, you know there's going to be Ghost Pokemon on the field, you know you got to bring Ghost-type coverage, and that's exactly what Okan does here. Now, this next series of turns is very unfortunate. What we're going to see is the worst RNG ever. That's 2 turns. That's 2 misses on Sleep Powder in a row. That's 3 turns where we're going to see Sleep Powder miss. Finally, on the 4th turn, Sleep Powder is going to miss. But then on the very next turn, you're going to see this thing wake up. And then you're going to see another missed Sleep Powder here. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like, I don't even understand how statistically that's even possible. I mean, Sleep Powder it's 75% accuracy. That means 3 out of 4 times it should land, but it misses 3 times in a row, finally lands, and then misses again. Like, it's insane. That should have never happened. I don't even know statistically how that's possible. But it happened, and Okan does his best to deal with it. He does get big damage off on this Avalugg here, and finally taking down the Vespiquen. But at this point, the damage is done. Roserade comes out, misses another Sleep Powder, and then another one. This is so fucking crazy. I can't even begin to explain. And then misses a Focus Blast. This poor kid. I feel so terrible for Okan. You hate to lose on RNG, but that's exactly what happens here. There's no other way to describe it. He misses 7 Sleep Powders and a Focus Blast. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Again, Sleep Powder is 75% accurate. How is it possible to miss 7 in one match? I don't even get it. But Rachel picks up the win. So the final match that we're going to cover this week is Riley Brooks. That's the Port Richie Pyukumukus against Pramursu. That's the Shadow Kingdom Gengars. I know Pry has had some stuff going on in her life. She's been a little distracted, and that shows in the match here. She's just no defensive switching at all. Just kind of leaves Pokemon out there to die against bad matchups. Quickly goes down 0-3 against a team that is pretty solid. Manages to take out Lantern with Hydreigon. But then instead of trying to switch out and make a good defensive switch against the Celebi, leaves Hydreigon out there despite being minus 6 or minus 4 or whatever it was on special attack. Finally switches out into Gardevoir and then right back into the Hydreigon and starts clicking Draco Meteor again. Gets some lucky RNG here, and the Colossal we're going to see miss Stone Edge. And finally see the crit as well for Hydreigon to pick up another one. And again, probably should have switched there. You had some good switches for this thing. Don't know why you left the Hydreigon out, especially when the Hydreigon outspeeds a lot of things. Leaving it not switching there was questionable. I don't know. It was just clear that her mind wasn't in it. Which I mean, I get it. Sometimes things happen. And you get distracted with real life stuff, but it's just unfortunate because she had a really strong start to the season. This is just a bad time to kind of fall apart because she's starting to slip behind and I'm starting to pull away in the division, and this gave Riley a chance to make some noise in his division, which we're actually going to see here as we go into the standings. The Venusaur division is completely flipped around and reorganized. We see Brad finally able to move up to first place in his division. The Miami Manectrics at 5-1 with a differential of 10, having a really solid season so far. We're going to see Hoen's Mad, that's Frozen Wrath at 4-2, right on Brad's heels. I mean, right on Brad's heels. In third place, we will actually see Riley, thanks to that big win against Shadow Kingdom Gengars, able to move up to third place in the division at 4-2. This is the best division still in the league. I mean, this could go any way. Any single team in this division could win the division, and likely whoever finishes second in this division is going to be the team that grabs the wild card spot. So this is going to be fun to watch coming down the stretch, how this division shakes out, to see like who grabs the division leader and who ends up winning that wild card spot. I'm really looking forward to see how it plays out. The next division is the Charizard division. Olivine City Volties, that's me, at 4-2, leading the division with a differential of 10. Finally starting to get things together. I feel like after making the move I needed, dropping Dusk Noir for Vanillux, I feel like my team has a lot more cohesion and more synergy now. I feel really good moving forward. I think I can finish up the season pretty strong. Hopefully I'll be able to grab that division leader spot and sneak into the playoffs. And second, we have This Is for Rachel, able to move ahead of Shadow Kingdom Gengars because, again, Shadow Kingdom Gengars had a pretty ugly loss this week. And then in fourth, again, San Diego Talon Flames, who dropped out earlier this season, so all of their matches are automatic 0-3 losses. So finally, the Blastoise division, we have the Belper Bewares, that's British Gent. Statistically the best team in the league at 5-1 with a differential of 12. In second place, the Sunny Day Solar Beams at 3-3 with a differential of 1. Real time, the coach of that team actually in hunt for the wild card spot as well. Only a game behind there, but 2 behind for division leader. So we'll see if maybe he can somehow manage to catch up the British Gent. And if not, maybe he can manage to grab the wild card spot coming down the stretch here in the season. And then tied for third place, both the Atlanta Alchemies and the San Jose Lauzos at 1-5 with a differential of -13. So yeah, that covers all the standings. Finally, the kill leader. We do have a new kill leader, no longer Clefable, it's actually Mimikyu with 9 kills. There are actually 2 Pokemon in the league right now with 9 kills, the other one being Hydreigon for the Shadow Kingdom Gengars, but the tiebreaker goes to Mimikyu because the Mimikyu only has 3 deaths, where the Hydreigon has 4. And then finally, the Pokemon of the Week, which goes to Avalugg. That Avalugg able to somehow, being the last Pokemon left on Rachel's team against 4 of Okans, able to pull off the win with some really good bulkiness and some good stab ice moves. So picking up 4 kills, really solid showing for Avalugg this week. So yeah, sorry about that. That's going to do it for this recap for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Keep an eye out for the Week 7 recap. I will be having my match this Thursday against This Is for Rachel. So it's an interdivision match. Should be really good. I've been prepping for this. I feel like I have a pretty good chance against Rachel here. So, make sure you check it out. I do have some fun stuff planned for that match as well as far as tech goes. Please check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter. If you haven't, like and subscribe. Maybe comment, whatever. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Honestly, I don't care. I'm just doing this for fun at this point. And please come check out my Twitch stream. I stream 5 days a week. My Twitch name is the same as my YouTube name, MissDarizard. I stream Pokemon 3 days a week. 1 day a week I stream something scary. And 1 day a week I just stream something retro that I just really love, like a game series that I just really love. Right now we're working on Sonic Adventure, and we're doing a Pokemon White Nuzlocke along with Shiny Hunting on Sword and Shield for Eevee. And then our Fright Days stream, which is every Friday we stream something scary. We just finished The Forest. It was an awesome ending to that. And we'll be coming up with something new to stream for the next series. So, thanks for hanging out with me again, guys. And y'all, have a nice night.